All right, thank you, Bill. Let's go ahead and bring in Florida Congressman, Republican Byron Donalds. He serves on the House Oversight and Financial Services Committee. Sir, thanks for taking time with us during this very busy news hour. A lot of reaction from your Republican colleagues this morning. We're getting some Democratic reaction now. Nancy Pelosi, former House Speaker, was on another channel just now. Want to get your reaction to her take on the Walz pick.
Tim Walz, I know very well. He served in the House. To characterize him as left is so unreal. It's just not what the question. He's right down the middle. He's a Heartland of America Democrat, and he was the chair of our Veterans Affairs Committee. And I don't want anybody to forget that.
Sir, what's your response to that?
That is the weakest answer from Nancy Pelosi. The reason why she had to pause is because she knows that Tim Walz is a radical progressive. Look, Tim Walz agrees with Nancy Pelosi. He agrees, obviously, with Kamala Harris that what we must have in our country are massively open borders. Tim Walz signed into law driver's licenses for illegal immigrants in Minnesota. He wanted health care for illegal immigrants in Minnesota. This guy is incredibly left-wing. And let's be very clear. The reason why Josh Shapiro is not the pick, and don't believe me, all you got to do is look at the tweet of Jared Moskowitz, Democrat member of Florida, is that the Democrat Party has a massive anti-Semitism problem. That is why they did not pick Josh Shapiro, because it probably would have cost them Michigan and Minnesota. Yeah. So Jewish voters in our country need to look at this very, very clearly. They picked another radical left-wing Democrat who will cater to Hamas and will not actually be supportive of Israel, especially when Israel is facing a very real threat right now in the Middle East.
On that point, sir, there's recent articles about Josh Shapiro supporting private vouchers for schools, which the teachers union does not like. Does it appear that Josh Shapiro was too conservative for Kamala Harris?
I think so, because look, Kamala Harris has always believed in the most radical positions possible. When she was in the Senate, she co-sponsored the Green New Deal. She co-sponsored universal health care using Medicaid, the Bernie Sanders plan, which would have been disastrous for private health insurance. It would have taken away private health insurance from 150 million Americans. You know what she did with the southern border, completely radical and out of control. There's a reason why Kamala Harris won't answer questions. What are we, day 16? And there's been not one question and answer session with Kamala Harris and the press, because they are trying to hide her radicalism the same way Nancy Pelosi's trying to hide the radicalism of Tim Walz. Oh, because he was the chair of Veterans Affairs? So what? That doesn't mean anything. What matters is, what did you do when you were a governor, Tim Walz? And what matters is, what did Kamala Harris do when she was vice president and a United States senator? This is a very dangerous ticket, a very liberal ticket, a very progressive ticket. This ticket will leave the American people last at a time where the American people have already been left behind by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
So Governor Walz is not with a terrifically, to put it mildly, a terrifically wide public presence among Americans. 9 out of 10 say they don't know enough about him in order to have an opinion. But he did gain some sort of internet notoriety this week after coining the term weird to describe the Trump ticket, as well as you and your Republican colleagues in the Congress. Is this a case of maybe the Harris campaign going for the shiniest object in the room?
I don't think that's the shiniest object at all. I had no idea who Tim Walz was either, and I'm in politics. I do this for a living. Look, I think it didn't matter if it was him or Tim Kaine. I know people don't remember that name. That was Hillary's vice presidential nominee. He was dull and boring, too. So it doesn't really matter whether you're a shiny object or not. What matters is, what are your policy positions? And I want to tell the American people very clearly, Harris, Walz are not going to fix inflation. They're not going to fix our economy. They will not fix the southern border. And let's be very clear, with what's going on internationally right now, do you really expect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to bring peace to the Middle East and the world? I don't think so. There's only one person who can do that, and that's Donald J. Trump.
Sir, thank you for your time. Byron Donalds, a Republican out of Florida. Thank you, sir, for jumping on with us during this breaking news.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.